You may have seen some ads on social media for Il Makiage makeup, mostly the foundation, and they're touting about matching your colors. So today I'm doing a full face of Il Makiage, and here's the thing. Most of the people you see, whether it's in the ads or if you go to the website, you can also look through some photos and videos of people putting on their makeup, but most of them are young. Most of them are in the 20s, a bunch in their 30s. You don't see anybody my age, but if you look around, you might find me on their website. They asked me to check out some of their makeup. So this time I'm doing a full makeup thing and telling you my thoughts on the makeup as well. Hi, I'm GloryB, and this is GloryB-TV, a lifestyle channel for mature women who want to look fabulous, feel amazing, and age gracefully. Well, I'm 61, so I was kind of surprised when Il Makiage said, hey, do you want to try some of our makeup? We don't care if you put any of it on social media, just, you know, we just want you to do some videos and give us the videos and the pictures. Because that's kind of what they do. They don't use models, they use real people. So I said, sure, but let me go through your makeup and decide what to buy. And I did get back to them, and as I put on the makeup today, because I'm doing a full face demo, I'm going to tell you what I told them, because I think they're missing some products if they want to sell to people over 40, certainly if they want to sell to people over 50, and I'm over 60, and I don't do Botox or fillers or anything. I'm not against those things. I think they're great. I just haven't done them yet. And I do think I'm starting to look a little bit too much like my mother, but a lot of us women feel that way from time to time. So let's get right to the demo. After the demo, I'm going to do a wear test later in the day and then conclude and tell you what I think about it. All right, let's get right to the demo. I'm starting with the Il Makiage No Filter Poreless Base Smoothing Primer. Now, I normally don't use a primer, but so many people testing out their foundation had said it works better with a primer. So I'm just going to use a little bit. I'm not even going to put it on my whole face. I'm mostly going to put it where I have large pores left over from my teenage years. So my nose, the sides of my nose, around here and around here, and that is it. Now, one product I told them that they need, if they're going to sell Il Makiage to women, in particular over 50, is they need a correcting cream for under the eye, because the foundation and the concealer for a lot of us just isn't going to work. So I am going to use my Pixie by Petra and the Brightening Peach, and I'll apply that real quickly just to my under eye area. Now, I'm not going to apply the corrector to any other dark spots on my face because I want to see how well the foundation does on its own with those areas. But usually I would take what's left over on the brush and go over some of those spots as well. So on to the foundation. This is the Woke Up Like This foundation, and the color going through their whole quiz online is the 035. And most of the time you will see people on social media, maybe in an ad, putting this right onto a brush or putting it on the back of their hand and putting their brush on it. But I like to pump it out on my finger and then just apply it right to my face. And I like to spread it around a little bit with my fingers, especially on that under eye area that I just did. And just to see if I need more or less. Now I just pump. It's, you know, with any kind of pump, it's hard to just pump out a little bit. It's like the pump has one quantity. and so that I don't get too much or too little. So if I get too little, yeah, I can add more, but then I got too much. So I'm just gonna spread it around a little bit, and then now I do have their foundation brush. It's the number 100 foundation blending brush. And let's see how this goes. Usually I would choose a color on my own that's a little more rose and less yellow, but it is summer right now, or it's September, but early September. So I have more tanning color on my neck and my chest. So I think the color is a good match. But we can look at it in daylight later on as we look at the wear test. So because my eyesight isn't so great anymore, I want to see how it's doing on the pores. Oh my gosh, when did I turn into my mother? It's just, sometimes I see my reflection in something and I'm like, Mom! Oh God. None of us feel as old as we are as we age. What is up with that? Okay, so I think that's pretty good. And now I'm on to their concealer. I'm not going to say the name of it because that is not my channel, but it's the Bleep I'm Flawless Multi-Use Perfecting Concealer. I do have the color written down. I have number 25. So I'm going to use this, which has a doe foot, on my under eye. And I'm going to use a blending sponge. I didn't get their blending sponge, I just have mine. It's a little bit damp, not too damp. And so that I can see what I'm doing. I'm just tapping that in. The interesting thing is I think it almost changes color from when I put it on to when I blend it. All right, now, just like my other under eye concealer setting trick, I did get their hydrating setting spray, and I got their, I always call this wrong, they call it transparent loose powder. So I'm going to take the spray. Actually, I'm going to open this first so that my hands aren't doing something goofy. Okay, and the powder ends up coming like that through some little holes. So I just tipped it over. I'm going to use a brush of my own, and I'm going to spray the back of my hand once, and I'm going to take my ring finger and just tap a little bit in and lightly put some of that spray on that area where I just put the concealer. And I'm going to keep tapping that in until it's mostly dry and not damp anymore. And then I'm going to take the brush on the side, tap it in, tap some off, and then lightly tap that onto the under eye area. And that makes for a really nice, flawless look that I can trust for the rest of the day. And I didn't get any other powder from them, so I'm not a big powder person, which As we get older, powder is not necessarily our friend, but I will use this in a big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to do a little bit, and I'm just going to powder my face a little bit. I did not get their bronzers because their bronzers are all shimmer, and I told them if you're going to sell to an older, more mature market, you're going to have to bring down that shimmer. And I also suggested that they come out with a contour stick in 2 or 3 colors. A lot of companies do them orangey. I like a color that's more taupe, and I suggested like the Anastasia Beverly Hills one in mink. So I'm not going to use that today like I did with the Pixie. I'm just going to go right for blush. And I have all of their blushes are baked, and this is the one called Poker Face. It's kind of a warm tone, and I'm just gonna swirl that around. Maybe put a little bit up here since I'm not doing any bronzer. And then I'm going to blend that out with my big brush. That was face. So now I'm ready for eyes. I did get one of their eye pencils. This is in the color Oreo, I believe, which is the black. And I'm going to line my eyes. This is something that you would sharpen. And it's a very soft, creamy pencil. I get as close to my lash line as I can. I can't go under because I'll have way too much tearing all day. And I'm just going above. I like to go over my eyeliner with a little bit of eyeshadow powder in a similar color, so that when I'm opening my eyes during the day, that eyeliner doesn't touch the skin up here. So I'm going to use the eyeshadow that I got from I bought one of their quads. They call this Color Boss Squad. This is in the color family called Game Changer. There are 3 shimmers in this and 1 matte. So the other thing I told them is if you're going to sell to an older market, you've got to come out with more matte eyeshadow colors, even in your palettes, and in lighter colors than just this. I had to buy a separate single in the creamy color for the base shadow in a matte, but they just have so many shimmers because they're selling to a younger crowd, and they want to sell to people like me. Well, then you got to come out with more that looks good on me. So all I have is this dark brown. So that's what I'm going to use with a tiny little brush to go over that. And then what's left over on the brush, I'm going to line the under eye here about halfway. For my brows, I got the brow pen in the color called Truffles, which is kind of a taupey brown. And I'll speed that up as I'm entering. So this you don't sharpen. This is, you just twist it up as you use it. And that is probably my favorite kind of brow pen. After I apply my brows, I always like to use a spoolie to go through them just to make it look more natural. Now I'm ready for eyeshadow. I'm starting with this one I showed you a few seconds ago. They call all these Color Boss. This one's in the color called Time's Up. It's just a creamy matte for a nice base. It's actually quite light. Now here's the trick, the next trick. I feel like a magician. For transition shade, I want something really light. Darker than this, of course, but certainly lighter than this. This is way too dark. And all these others are shimmers, and I don't put shimmer in the transition area. What I have to do is dip my brush into the cream, into the brown, into the cream, into the brown, and then hope I come up with a color and into the brown. I'm not going to show you this every time because I can't. If I had 3 hands, I could show you this at one time. So I'm dipping into them one after the other and then going into the transition area. So you see it's not very dark. The next trick up my sleeve is to get a color on here that, for over here, that matches this eye. But I told them you need to come up with more colors that are good transition shades in matte. So that would be colors in the beigey brown, the warm. And that would be colors in the beigey taupey charcoal, light. We can always add more to make it dark. I would love to work with a company someday and help them come up with a couple eyeshadow palettes that are for older people. And I think the younger women would like it as well. I think it would sell a lot for a long time. All right, so I'm looking at my mirror and I think I like what I see. I already did some blending. So now what I'm gonna do is take a small brush and I'm going to go into that brown matte with a tiny little brush just on that outer corner, that outer V. I'm not doing much because I'm going for an everyday look. Now I have 3 shimmers that I can work with here. Light, medium, and dark. So I'm going to use the light and the medium only on the mobile lid. And I'm going to start with a small brush with that medium one. And I'm just going to put it on the mobile lid. I would say I'm using the outer third of the mobile lid. And then I'm going to go in with another small brush with the lightest shimmer, which looks pink in the pan, but when I apply it, it really does look more like a cream color. It doesn't look overly pink. And then I'm going to blend it by just tapping. The good thing is I'm really not getting much fallout from the eyeshadow, so that's a good thing. And then I'll just go over it one more time with the big brush. And now I'm ready for mascara. For mascara, I have the Makiage Icon High Volume Mascara. And the brush looks like this, and I will speed this up. At this point, I'm going to use the spray. It's a little humid outside today, so we'll give that foundation a chance to set, but I am ready for lips. I'm going to blot my lips. Now, I was interested in a few of their lipstick colors, but they were out of stock on all the ones I was interested in. And then I took a closer look and I said, okay, you guys, you can't claim to sell 80 colors of lipstick if only 14 are available. That's a serious supply chain issue. I mean, I've been a businesswoman for many, many years. You just can't. So to get a variety of colors, I bought 2 of their lip palettes. One is more pink, one is more warm toned, and in these, you can either use your finger or you can use a lip pencil. The one at the bottom on both of these is more of a sheer color, and then all the others are semi-matte. They're very nice. So I'm going to use, I'll use this one in the corner. It's called Spring. And a lip brush, and let's see how I do. I have really small lips. But it is quite creamy. I didn't get a lip gloss from them, but you could certainly top it with a gloss. But what I'm going to do, I am going to use my finger and go into that bottom one since it's more sheer. All right, so in the next clip, it'll be later in the day and we'll be outside, or at least in front of some sun because it might rain later, but we'll get some natural light on my face and see how the foundation is doing. All right, it is raining, but we've got some daylight so we can see the skin and what it looks like in the day. So it feels okay. I don't have good vision anymore, so I can't tell what it looks like up close. So I'm going to get a 10x mirror and we'll see how I think it looks. And it's about 4 o'clock now. So that was my 4 p.m. test outside, and I've just come inside, and now I have my close-up mirror, and I think I could probably use some powder on my nose. I don't see anything wearing off, which is good, and I don't see dryness around here, which some people have said they've seen with this product, and I was a little concerned about it. Of course, being older, I've been out and about shopping today. Again, we had some rain. The rain didn't really hit while I was shopping, but it was getting quite humid. Let's see, what else have I got here? I'm looking at the edges here, and I think it looks all right. And I am glad that I put on the cover cream under my eyes from Pixie. I think that's a main big product they're missing, and then they just have to get rid of some of, well, not get rid of it, but they can't rely on all the shimmery bronzers and shadows, eyeshadows and things. They need to come out with some things that are more matte for us older people. And then I think they'll have a broad range to sell to women from teenage on up. So that's my thoughts. So you need to go below the video to the description box. If you're watching on a phone or mobile device, you tap the little V on this side of the video, below the video. And if you're watching on a computer on this side, you click show more. That opens up the description box. I'll have links to everything there. And then check out one of my other videos by tapping its image on the right side of your screen. And I'll see you in the next video.